Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Sit, speak your truth. That's what I try and do. If you're new here, my name is Zelena. I am a American expat living in Central America, in Panama. I created this channel because I want to help women like myself that are looking for another way outside of the US to live their best life. So that's what this channel is about, encouraging women that are thinking about relocating, that are curious about relocating, that definitely want to relocate but don't know how to start. I'm here for you. So, and to that end, before I forget, I am working on a system, a guide that I am creating right now that I kind of chronicle how I got here. And it is a very detailed, I call it my relocation system. It's a very detailed system that lays out all of the things that you need to kind of start processing and start getting into effect before you make a move. Like, making sure your passport is up to date with at least, a year or two on there, making sure that you have your FBI report, depending upon what country you want to go to. Finding out where you want to be. Should I, do boots on the ground myself as an individual where I want to go, or do I do a relocation tour? How do I get my dog, my cat, so all kinds of information. So I am working on that now. I'm almost done. And when I am done, I'm going to let you all know. And I please encourage you that if you are someone that might need a little help, or you're looking for a guide or a way to kind of get you started, please take a look at that when it's ready. It will be a resource that it will be invaluable to you. And I have, in addition to creating, the guide, I have also created a resource vault full of links that you can just click and go to, where you can, look at how to, who do I see about getting my apostille, who can, get this stuff for me quickly because I'm ready to go, because my resource guide is actually almost like an emergency exit, because I actually left the US in 4 months. I went on a relocation tour in September of 24, and in January of 25, I had landed. So if you are someone that you think you would be interested in that, stay tuned. I got that coming for you. But I just want to talk today about a little bit about mindset and the importance of you changing your mindset. So many people feel, oh, I can never move. I can't afford to do. Mindset. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. People move all over the world every day. You just have to have a system. You have to know what steps to take. And if you're going to give yourself a little time, it just takes a little planning. But yes, you can do it. And I know a lot of people are like, well, if you're not retired, yeah, a lot of people that move abroad, they are retired. They wait until they have that good old SSA in their back pocket, right? And then they start looking abroad. Where do I want to go? They start doing some research, right? They start figuring out where they want to have what they call a soft landing. Where do they want to go first and try it out and see if it fits. And if not, then they go someplace else and they try that out and they see if it fits. That's one route that you can go. But if you are someone who's like me, that's not quite at retirement age yet, but you still, you see the changes that are happening in the world. You see what's going on in the US currently. And as a woman, you're not comfortable, right? You're kind of concerned about your job, your ability to sustain yourself. Am I going to get laid off? Am I going to be able to keep up with inflation? Am I going to be able to keep up with these rent, increases? Am I going to be able to keep fuel in my car, because gas prices are exorbitant right now? So if you're looking at all these things and you're wondering, you know what, this really no longer works for me, but what do I do? What options do I have? You do have options. As a person that is or was a military brat, right? I had a passport at a very young age. My father was in the service, in the Army. And so we traveled all over, and I've lived in Europe, and I've lived in Canada, and I've just traveled all over. So to me, having a passport It was a no-brainer. I've kept my passport current since I got my first one as a child. But I found it interesting when I did some research and found out that most Americans don't even have a passport. So that kind of puts you at a disadvantage, right? Because when things pop off, if things start to get hot and you want to kind of like extricate yourself from a situation or from an environment, you're limited in where you can go. You can only go somewhere in the US. Even when COVID and all that stuff happened, Mexico and Canada changed their rules. You didn't used to have a passport or get a visa to go into Canada or Mexico. I used to go to Canada all the time, just up and down, up and down. Show your driver's license. Sometimes I would show my passport if I had it, but it wasn't a requirement. Those times are no longer in effect. Those things have changed now. So you need to have the proper paperwork in order to maneuver and in order to move. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to position yourself with a passport. If you do not have one, you need to go to online to the U.S. passport. And I can't remember what the name of the actual government name is, but you need to look that up on Google, and you need to figure out, what do I need to do to get my passport? You need to get a couple of headshots. You can go to a CVS, any pharmacy. They'll do the headshots for you. You get your paperwork online, you print it out, you fill it out, and then you can take it to your local post office. Or, if you're on the East Coast and you're in the Washington, D.C., Maryland, Virginia area, you can take it right into D.C. And take it to the U.S. passport office. You have options. But the first thing you need to do is you need to get yourself a passport. Once you have that, then your options begin to open up, right? So then you have options. So I know the second thing that you're thinking is, okay, well, if I'm not retired and I don't have a lot of money, how am I going to be able to sustain myself if I get somewhere where I want to go? I'm glad you asked that. So here's the second part. Once you create that life for yourself, wherever it is that you want to be in the world, now then the second part is that you have to be able to sustain that life. How do you do that? Well, you do that a number of ways. Everything is going digital. Everything is online now. Everything. People teach from all over the world. I have a friend that I met here in Panama. Evelyn, if you happen to see this, love you. She's from Colombia. She travels all over the world. She was just in South Africa most recently after she left here. And what does she do? She spends the first 4 or 5 hours of her day early morning, and she teaches. She was staying at a hostel downtown where a friend of mine was staying. And, I went down there and I would go in the kitchen, and she got herself set up at her little kitchen area desk with her chair, and she got her little laptop there, and she has her mic on and she's teaching, right? She's making money online teaching English to people who don't know how to speak English. That's one thing that you can do. I think that's something that the girl that I follow, Energy, did in the very beginning when she was first doing her thing. She was house sitting all over the world and kind of pet sitting all over the world, pet sitting. And then she was teaching English. So you can earn income. There are things that you can do. You can start small and then you build up, right? Another thing that you can do is to sell digital products online. That's what I am doing. So what does that consist of? Well, I have a great system that I actually learned about while I was here in Panama, and I could kick myself because I kind of learned about it after I was here for about 3 or 4 months, but I didn't really follow through until 8 months later. So there is a financial freedom blueprint link that'll be in the description box. Please feel free to check that out. This system is awesome because the first thing you have to do when you get, what am I going to sell? I don't have anything. I haven't created anything. What do I sell? This system will give you digital products to sell. Not only will they give you the digital products to sell, but when you make a sell, you get 100% profit. 100% profit. Affiliates are great, but this is not like an affiliate. It's not like, I'm going to sell this, moisturizer here on Amazon. It's $9.99 and, I get 10% of that. So, I'll see about 99 cents. No, it's not like that. When you sell your product, you will get 100% profit in your pocket. the system is beautiful because not only do you sell the system, once you buy it, you own it, and then you can resell it, which is what I do. But also inside the system, it is the largest kind of like, it's like an online learning center, right? So you can learn everything that you need to know about starting a business for yourself. Social media, how do I market myself on social media? How do I create a social media presence? You learn how to sell digital products. You learn how to create your own digital products. My thing is that as women, we have so much experience, right? We've been through so many things, life experience, career experience, especially if you're a woman of color. All kinds of things that we've been through, skill sets that we've learned that we can turn around and we can teach others. You can show others how to do something. Prime example, I'm creating this relocation system, this almost 100-page document, which is going to help women. Prayerfully, I'm praying that the women that need to see it will have access to it and help them to maneuver their way out of, I don't care what country you're in. You could be in the States. You could be in Canada. You could be somewhere in Europe. You just want to, it doesn't matter where you are. It'll help you maneuver your way out. Okay. It gives you a step-by-step system to follow. And if you follow it, you will be able to comfortably extricate yourself. Right? So there are so many things that this system provides, and it's constant learning, and they're constantly adding to the repertoire of classes that they have, right? So it's not like when you go to school, right? Traditional learning, you go to school, you go to college, you go to the registrar's office, you pay for your class, you take your class for a semester. When the class is over, you get your grade, and that's the knowledge that you have. You can't come back a year later and get more or newer information from that class. That class is done. If you want to get new information or get updated information, then you would have to take another class, and you would have to pay for the other class. With this system, you have access to all this information. You pay for it one time. You pay for it one time. And then you have access to everything. And it's tiered. So you come in at the level that you're comfortable, right? That you're comfortable and that you can afford to pay. It doesn't get any better than that. For me, I'm blessed and I'm so grateful because I was able to get the top tier system. So, I have a $1,400 system. So I can make anywhere from $100 a sale to $1,400 a sale, all cash in my pocket, 100% profit. And I love the $1,400 system because it's the complete system, right? And then it's also the complete system and website. And it's also the complete system and website in English and in Spanish. What is the second most popular spoken native tongue behind English in the Western Hemisphere? Spanish, right? So you get to hit 2 tiered levels of sales, right? Beautiful, beautiful system. Complete system, constantly upgraded system. Not only do you have access to all these classes and all this information, they're teaching classes now on AI. If you are not learning child, I am so mad. I was doing so well and I was so hyped up and I started hitting my hand about AI and turned off the damn camera shit. Excuse me, y'all. I'm so sorry about that. So anyway, I was talking about AI. So like I said, if you're not learning AI systems now, in 2 years, it's just, I don't even know how you play catch up. You can't act like a hot dog and catch up at that point. It's just too much stuff out there. Learn it now while it's fresh, while it's new, and while there are free learning platforms, right? So, there are many places out there that you can learn AI. But I like the fact that it's offered here in this system with Legacy. Legacy Builders is the name of the program, is the name of the system, because they're constantly updating. You're going to constantly, you pay for it once and you have lifelong access. So 5 years down the road, when, things are just, you're still going to be in the know, right? Because you came in early, you learned, and you just keep growing and you keep applying what you learn to fortify yourself and to fortify your business. It's beautiful. And then finally, the last thing that I love about it is the community. The community here is off the chain. So once you choose to be a part of the community, be a part of the system, and to invest in yourself through investing in this. This community is almost 60,000 people strong. That's how many people are out there. And you're probably like, Z, 60,000 people that's a lot of people. Isn't it saturated? No, it's not saturated at all. There are over 8 billion people on the planet. Out of those 8 billion people, 5 billion people are on social media. 60,000 compared to 5 billion. Do you think it's oversaturated? I don't think so. There's always someone out there, because everyone is not going to be delivering the information the same way. My kind of take on it is the fact that I'm trying to incorporate this wonderful program with the fact that you can use it as a way to exit a situation or an environment that you no longer want to be in by creating your own online business. That's how you can sustain yourself, right? That's how you can sustain yourself in your new world. So please take this under advisement. Guys, we all can win. As women, we should be winning. And we have spent, I was going to say hundreds, probably thousands of years, kind of subservient. But women are where it's at. We are the ones that are on the rise. We are the ones that are getting degrees at higher levels than men. We are getting higher and better jobs, even though the jobs are slowly dying down. But we're getting those at an alarming, quicker, faster rate than men. Maybe the pay's not equal yet, but we're getting those positions. So what I'm saying is, if you are someone who was already in the business of being in business, then why aren't you in the business of being in business for yourself? Because all those skill sets, all that knowledge, all that life experience, all that career learning that you have, you can be creating your own legacy. And that's what we should be doing right now. Women need to continue to build businesses. We need to be out there and we have been. From a brick and mortar perspective, we absolutely have been. But now we need to do it from an online perspective, because that's where the world is going, right? That's where the world is headed. We need to begin to build from that perspective. So at that point, I'm going to stop it here because, honey, if you know anything about me, I can run my mouth and I can talk. So I'm going to let that gestate in your system for a little bit. Think about it. Please go to the link in my description if you want to know more about how you can start your own business and how you can be in this wonderful e-learning platform that can generate online passive income for you every day. Please see the link in my description. And stay tuned, because I have my first digital product coming out, and it's going to be a benefit. If you're someone that is looking to, as a woman, relocate from wherever you are to some place that is more conducive to your standards and just to you as a person, then please keep a lookout for that. I'm gonna let you know when it's ready to go, when it's released, because I think it will be a massive benefit to you. Okay, that's all I have for you all today, lovelies. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for staying here at Sit and Speak Your Truth, and I will talk to you very soon in the next video. Much love.